The Royal Progress. Elizabeth I made 23 progresses during her 44-year reign and usually travelled in the late summer and early autumn. A royal progress on the move would have been an impressive sight, with over 250 horse-drawn carts groaning beneath the weight of everything the monarch and her entourage might require on the trip. Bedding, furniture, clothing, food, dishes and kitchen equipment, and even the documents and office supplies needed to conduct the business of the realm. Members of her court accompanied her, as did a full household of grooms and pages, wardrobe ladies and maids, guards, chaplains, cooks and even court musicians. Travel was slow and difficult. Even on the main highway, they covered only 10 or 12 miles a day. The Queen visited her subjects to give and receive gifts and reward loyal service. In August 1592, Thomas and Elizabeth Dolman welcomed Queen Elizabeth I and her court to Shaw House as she toured the south of England. The progress stopped at Shaw House for 2 days, which was much longer than normal. The families that the Royal Progress stayed with would have been expected to provide entertainment for the Queen. The entertainments would have been designed to impress the Queen and to show the host's wealth, and would have included speeches, dramatic scenes, music and songs. Few details about the entertainment at Shaw House have survived. It included a form of outdoor entertainment at nearby Donington Castle. A special stand was built, which may have been used as a platform for a performance. This was become one of the last major progresses of Queen Elizabeth's reign. Not many of the places that she stayed in 1592 have survived. Shaw House is a rare example of a house that would still be recognisable to people that were a part of the Royal Progress in the 16th century.
I remember when our master, Mr. Thomas Dolman, discovered the Queen was coming to Shaw. An air of excitement went through the house. A couple of days later, our young mistress, Elizabeth, found out that the Queen would also be staying with her brother, Sir Humphrey Foster, days before she would arrive here. It is a great honour, but my master is an important man. Last year he was the High Sheriff of Berkshire. Mr. Dolman immediately wrote to his friends at the Queen's court to find out what kind of entertainment the Queen would most enjoy. We servants immediately went to work on preparing the house. Luckily, the house was only built 11 years ago and is easier to keep clean than some older houses. The rooms were aired and cleaned and the rushes were changed. With a few days to go, the Queen's gentlemen's ushers arrived to prepare the house for the visit. They brought furniture, paintings and the most beautiful tapestries, much grander than anything that the family owns. The Queen has to have the best, and so travels with carts of furniture, so she is kept comfortable. The stand for the entertainment was also built at Donington. I would have loved to have seen the entertainment, but sadly the servants weren't allowed. We were far too busy back at the house. I'll never forget the day the Queen arrived. We heard she was stopping at Chamber House in Thatcham, and then was coming straight to Shaw. We could hear them coming before we could see them. The sound of the horses' hooves and hundreds of carts. I caught a glimpse of the Queen as Mr. Dolman went to greet her. She was surrounded by her ladies, but she stood out from the crowd as everyone swarmed around her. The visit went by so quickly, we barely had time to stop. The Privy Council met, and it was very strange to think that some of the most important men in England were under the same roof as me. Messengers were constantly arriving and being sent to London. On the 26th of August, the progress set off again, heading towards Mr. Parry's house at Ramsbury. So much work for a 2-day visit. Everyone was exhausted. As the court prepared to leave, I heard some of the ladies and gentlemen of the court moaning and groaning about the constant travelling. At least they got to sleep in a house. Most of the servants had to sleep in tents. Rather them than me. They may get to serve the richest people in the land, but I'd rather stay put here at Shaw.